Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. I need my microphone. I have got it here. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome. Good evening. Good evening, self-isolators. Good evening, homeschoolers, and everyone else in between. I'd just like to say before we start, pretty warm in here. It actually feels like a sauna now. Good evening, everyone. People said you can creep in on the floor. I know. When are you going to get the idea that this isn't, Nick, it's not, there's no budget associated with this, my friend. This is the thing. I had a pigeon on this roof about 3 minutes ago, trying to usher it off with a clothes prop. It sounded like a man and his entire family walking across the apex. But here we are. Welcome. Let's get some tunes going. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Neil Banks. Will it be Father Shed today? No, although I've got some updates on that from the clergy themselves. Hello from Dudley. Highlight from our week. Good evening from Ambergate. Oh, God, I've got Ambergate. That's quite nice round there. Good evening, everyone. We've just done the clap for the NHS, haven't we? Yeah. We have. Our youngest daughter, Sophia, she was outside in her pyjamas and someone said, "Oh, isn't it lovely? She's all ready for bed." She's been in them all day. She's been in them all day. Feral child. Good evening, everybody. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, I've got a few things to tell you. I'm loving that clap for the NHS, by the way.
Shall I do my intro?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should do that every week for the rest of time. Just people clapping, because then at least I remember that it's bin day tomorrow. The other thing is, I'm going to keep going just so she's got to do a long introduction. It's about time she practiced. Good evening, Brother Scott. Good evening, Darren Archer. 92 people have joined. It's getting warm in here. There's too many people. There's too many people. We're breaking fire regulations in this little shed. Oh, that sounds good, Jen. That sounds really good. It's all right. Just keep going. Just keep going. Here's what I was going to say. It's Bottles Day tomorrow, isn't it? But we're not putting ours out because there's two bags. Because I've drank that much. So I'm going to put that out at 2 in the morning, maybe. Good evening, Alex Leam. Would help turning the volume up. Oh, can you hear us, Mandy? I can't have Mandy not hearing us. We're all right. Everyone's here, baby. Everyone's here. Share the stream, people. Look, everyone's joined, Gemma. 105 people. We've got a proper intro song now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Let's go for it, Gemma.
8:15 on a Thursday night. I grab my drink and I feel alright. We got no place to go away. We're going to the shed for the... Oh, can I start again?
One job.
Can I start again?
Well, you're going to have to. You've massacred it. Come on.
Right. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Joanne.
8:15 on a Thursday night. I got my drink and I feel alright. We got no other place to go, so I'm going to the garden for the shed show. Shed show. Shed show. Shed show.
Well, that was the unveiling of the new soundtrack for Shed Show, and I think we can all agree it was a shower of shit. You had that perfect earlier. You've got the words here that you're not loose. Come here. Do you know what it is? Your top lip sweater. Come here. Get that little Hitler on there.
It's so hot.
It's so hot, but you can't blame that for your bad playing. It's not the heat. Oh, let's have a little bit of a rest here.
I'm gonna go down.
Not down. I think you should take that drink with you. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Thank you. There we go. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Rachel Mary. Good evening, Rachel Mary. Hello, Rachel Mary. We've got Robert James Ingham. Fight you for it. Everyone's here, babe. It's 137 people heard you unveil our new song, Shed Show, which Gemma neglected the children to write today. Our daughter did no homeschooling because Gemma thought, well, I've got to practice that. And thank God she did, because that was 3 minutes of awkward tension we've never had otherwise. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I'm going to start, Gemma, by a roundup of the week. What these people won't understand this. Gemma, you said to me this week, she let this go this week. Gemma wants a shed. I'm not happy about that. I am the shed man.
Let's take a vote, shall we?
What, 138 people? Who thinks that Gemma should have a shed?
I think it'll be 138 to 1.
There's people here from Stafford, Gemma. They want you to have a shed. Do you think Gemma should have a shed? The problem is, right, Gemma wants a shed, right? And then I said, well, I'll tell you what then, let's get everyone a shed. The kids can have a shed each. It'll be like Brighton seafront. And we'll get rid of the house and we'll all, every night, Gem, just retire to our sheds. And they just come out in the morning, just morning, out of the sheds. It'll be like Goldilocks, won't it? Mummy's shed, daddy's shed and baby's shed. Because I'm not buying them one each, they can bollocks. But so here, are you chopping down trees for your lumberjack shirt? This is a nice shirt, I'll have you know. I've got a treat coming up later. So I've dressed down appropriately. But what I was going to say, yes. So Gemma wants a shed as well, which I'm not particularly happy about. But I understand why she wants to do it. I understand why she wants to do it, right? And that is basically because you want that sanctuary, don't you, darling? You want that sanctuary. She wants that sort of isolation. She wants to be monk-like. I think that's what it is. And I've been watching the BBC 4 thing, the monks. It's great, isn't it?
I love it.
It's a fantastic programme. And all you do, you see, is because I feel like I'm living like a monk now. I am Father Shed. That's what people have said. I am Father Shed. Barrow upon Saw as well. Don't burst his bubble. People are slagging me off on here.
What?
I don't know. They're heckling me what time's the main act on, Derek. Derek, I've got a set list here, and at no point does it say 2 minutes in, deal with the bell end. So you're out of luck, my friend. I can still slam you, even though you're not physically here, okay? And so this monk programme is fantastic, isn't it? You watch them bake bread, you watch them whittle stuff down, it's completely silent, it's beautiful. I watched a man watercolouring the other night for 2 hours. I think I'm going insane. But the thing is, what did put me off, because I'm a big believer in the monk life, particularly now, right? As you noticed last week. But what put me off is I noticed something. They're brewing their own beer, right, these monks. And I did think, if their way of life is much better than ours, why are they getting shit-faced? Why are they brewing their own beers? They're having a cracking time. Like this, they wouldn't need. What are they hiding from? And the other thing is, the beer they produce, Trappist Ale, is 9.5%. People, that's stronger than Special Brew. Do you know when they're praying with their hoods up like this? That's not like the what do they call it, Jem? The Vespers. That's not the noise. That's not prayer. They're hungover. If you actually went up to you see just never drinking again. Father Michael, get me another bacon sandwich. That's what it is. So before we move on, I don't know if you've noticed this, Gemma. This has slipped you by. We've got a wall here of positivity.
Oh,
and
God!
Yes, let's go through them.
No.
Beautiful. We've got Chris Akabusi, very positive man.
Oh.
We've got Timmy Mallet. We've got Ainsley Harriott, who always makes me smile. We've got my mum and dad, who are very positive people. They don't look it there. We've got Sue Pollard from Heidi High. This one, I don't know how this one got in. This is Mike Halewood buying my DVD. I don't know. Did you put? That's unfortunate, isn't it? It's available now online. Oh, no, that's awkward, isn't it? That's awkward. But then this one's my favourite, and I'm going to show you this. This is positive. This is
I cannot believe.
I've done it, baby. I've done it because this is a message. Guess who this is? This is Gemma Bennett. Now, she is rocking the poodle look there, holding a guinea pig in that jumper, classic 80s, isn't it?
I blame Claire Ellis for that.
Oh, that's Gemma, incredible. I can't open the door, Ed Smith, because the neighbours will complain. But look at that. What I'm trying to say is, if that thing there can turn into that beautiful woman, then there's hope for everyone in this lockdown. Because here you would write that off. Look at how you're paler. You're paler than the tarmac, than the concrete. Look at your little face. Oh dear.
It was perms. Perms were in.
Perms were in for pensioners.
Oh, God.
But not for... How old were you there?
I was about 11.
Oh, she was 11 there. Yes, let her have a shed. Everyone thinks she should have a shed. Oh, God.
I should have showing that mum in it.
Yeah, everyone thinks you should have a shed, Gemma. I'm not happy with that myself. Right. So what I want to say is, it's the alcohol is probably the main factor where I was worried about these monks things. But interestingly, Gemma, I don't know if you know this, millennials are not drinking. They're not drinking. They aren't. That next generation aren't drinking. They won't be. But and also they're not having unwanted pregnancies. They're not having babies. Right now, that's related, isn't it? I never felt like getting hammered on a Tuesday afternoon until I had my two. Do you know what I mean? And they're not, also, there's no STDs. They're on the plummet, right? Now that makes sense again, doesn't it? Like no one ended up with chlamydia after a night on the caramel lattes, did they? You know. But it is the interesting thing, right? They're more anxious as a generation, Jan. Would you agree with that? Because they've got social media and everything, and think that they're constantly under scrutiny. They feel like their confidence is at rock bottom. They're very anxious. They're very nervous. Do you know what they need, love?
Go on.
A drink. That's what they need. A good piss up. Those people. That's what they need. But thank you. Everyone's here. Gemma should have a shed. Basically, it's now the Gemma the Shed Show. They're going to have a fundraiser for you, Jem. I think this is now a GoFundMe page for your shed, love. Coming up in about 20 minutes, I think I'm gonna do a poem. What do you think?
Yes, do it.
I'm scared of doing it.
Do the beat.
You could do it. Not yet. We're gonna do it in a bit. But because I tell you the other thing that I've thought about today, darling. Listen.
Go on.
This is really interesting. 154 people have joined us, Gemma.
Woo-hoo.
And they're all saying, get Gemma a shed. I tell you what, if you donate £1 each, we can get her one.
Oh, don't say
I mean,
that.
it'll be like a dog kennel, but I'm only joking. We'll get her a shed. I'm going to be moving out of here anyway, because by the end of this, I'm off to a monastery, so she can have this. And this is it's too warm in here tonight, but we're going to go for it, right? Listen to me like you're not. Listen, I say it like you're here. Come here, listen. Right, what's interesting, Gem, don't know if you realised, like, some people in lockdown have been locked down in the last place they visited because they're not allowed to leave, right? So, like, if you think about it,
be a nightmare.
that's a nightmare. I bet there's a bloke out there who just went round to drop off his mate's drill. And he's like, shit, I live here now. I've got 3 kids and a wife I've never met. Just like, and people in the early stages of relationships, imagine that, right? They were like 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, it was just dick pics and Nando's. And now she's deciding which side of the bed you sleep on. That's a weird... do you know what I mean? What are they going to do next? Come and sit down here. I know we've sped up a little bit and we barely know each other, but look at this book of baby names. Come on. Have a look at this book of baby names with me. Wallpaper the back bedroom. That's a phenomenal thing that's happened. And speaking of baby names, Jem...
Oh God, what are you going to tell me?
I'm going to say no. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just thinking, how long is it going to be before we have a COVID and a furlough in the same class? Have you got COVID? He's over there. He's playing with furlough.
Now you laugh, but
what? You think there's going to be a COVID?
Yes.
And when he gets to 19, it's going to be perfect, isn't it?
As a teacher, believe you me, you get some shocking names.
COVID.
On the register.
COVID. Sit down. What are you doing, COVID? I've told you before.
Corona, come over here.
Corona, get over it. What are you doing within 2 metres of furlough? What are you doing? I've told you before, you need to start social distancing. We've got COVID, Corona, furlough.
Sit next to social distancing.
Sit next to social... Where's PPE? Where's he gone?
Very good.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe we're going to be flattening. Come over here and flatten this curve. I don't know. It's going to be nonsense, isn't it? But do you know that Elon Musk, darling? Do you know the billionaire? Do you know who Elon Musk is?
Oh.
Yeah, the billionaire.
I know him well.
Right, he's had a new baby this week with his wife, and congratulations. And he's called it, well, I don't even know how to pronounce it. No, it's K/ like a symbol, then A-12. And it means Archangel Sasha.
Oh.
Is catchy, innit? I mean, the thing is as well, there's like a symbol, he's going to get bullied at school once the bullies work out how to pronounce it. But he's called Elon, right? His wife is a singer called Grimes. So they were hardly going to knock up a Kevin, were they? It was never going to happen. Because some people do pick baby names. I think these have got theirs, Jem, from an error code on a dishwasher. I think that's what it is. But it is a thing. What's amazing, right? He's one of the richest men in the world, Jem.
Yeah.
He's 23rd in the world. So, if you think about it, that baby right now in an incubator has earned more than any one of us could earn in our lifetime.
What?
Well, obviously, he's a billionaire. Imagine, that's unbelievable. Just to know that a baby, a piece of flesh, basically doing nothing, is earning more money than any of us. It's a very strange feeling, isn't it? But what else could I say? Well, I generally started with, of course, the silly names. I'm mentioning the silly names. It started with Gwyneth and...
Apple.
Apple, didn't it? Apple.
Not so daft now.
Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin, and they obviously had a conscious uncoupling. Do you remember that?
I do.
And I thought a conscious uncoupling was where the caravan fell off the back of your dad's car on the way to Skegness. I've never heard of that phrase before. So here's what I was going to say, though. I think this show is all about positivity, isn't it, love?
Yeah.
And what's positive is we've got 151 people here who are watching this, and all starting a petition now for you to have a shed, which is not. This is not what the show's about, okay? But we'll get her one. We'll get her one. And now this is it. I've got a wall of positivity. Now, what I'm saying is that there's a lot of positive things, right? I think the first thing is regarding tech. Now, one person's written in, Gemma. We've got Janet Griffin. Hello, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
She said she's learned how to use Zoom, right? Now, I think that's a major thing. Like my parents, right? Honestly, we started a quiz, didn't we? We do a quiz on a Sunday. First week, chaos. Chaos, people muting microphones, there was just chins, there was an upside down nana at one point. It was mental, right? But then now it's like my dad this week, you know what he did? My dad said to me, I'm going to send you a video through of you when you were on the telly. He says, this is exact words, he says, I tried to send it through Facebook, but it's too big, so I've compressed it and put it through WhatsApp. Unbelievable. Where's my dad gone? He's been replaced by Bill Gates, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is two people, by the way, my mum and dad, who genuinely, before this pandemic, I caught them watching Line of Duty when it was on the programme planner on a tiny little screen in the corner because they didn't know how to exit it. Can you believe that? And look at them now. This is unbelievable, right? The thing is as well, I think the other advantages is that we're spending a lot of time with the kids, aren't we, love?
Yeah.
And we've got two kids. We've got Olivia and Sophia, and they're inside now. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're probably just going through the silver, and I think they're chewing through the wiring or something. They'll be fine. But generally, right, what I've noticed is that the second born is calmer. You could get a shed load of sheds. Vicky Ansell said she's not allowed one either. Why don't you chip in together and share it? A timeshare shed, why not? Right, so the second born is normally calmer, okay?
Yeah.
Right, now, and I think it's because you're more relaxed as parents. I think that's what it is. Like, with hygiene, like when the first one dropped the dummy on the floor, we were straight in, weren't we, Jen?
Yeah.
You picked it up, you disinfected it, you burnt the clothes, you took them to A&E. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't have it on the... And with the second one, I didn't even pick it up. I just used to kick it along, just to a point where I didn't have to bend as much. I just kick it along, and then I just pick it up, put it in the mouth, straight in the gob. That was the whole sterilisation process. If I didn't have a dummy, sausage roll, the Northern Suva, get that in her face as well, right? And we didn't... People say about vaccinations, right? We didn't bother vaccinating Sophia. I mean, not that we're against it. We just got Gemma to lick her arms instead. Do you know what I mean? Just there you go, measles, mump and rubella. There you go. Come here, polio. There you go. But it's the thing as well. Like I've noticed, like with the second one, like it's so much difference. Like with your first one, you don't go out. When that baby arrives, you are committed. You're like, we're not having a social life. Our lives have changed now. We're going to stay in and we're going to watch this baby breathe. That's what we're going to do, just in case there's a problem. With the second one, you would go out with the cord still attached. If you had the chance, you'd be like, come on, dragging it into Wetherspoons like a dog on a leash. Come on, get under that table. Go on, Mummy wants a drink. Shut up, get up. I mean, I'm going to admit something to you now, Gemma.
Okay,
right?
here we go.
This is the thing. Like, I think because like when we've got two, your babysitting situation gets more difficult. And I remember once, right? I was thinking, we've got to have a night out. We never get a chance to have a night out. And I think we need a babysitter. And it was my turn. That night, we went and had fish and chips, right? I went and got fish and chips. And I was stood there, love, at the fish bar. And I was watching, there was a girl working there. She must have been about 16. And I had to almost, I nearly said to her, what do you like with kids? What do you like with kids? Because the way you're handling them chips, you look quite sensible. Do you want to come and tuck my two in for a tenner? And the thing is as well, she'd be really good, wouldn't she? Because she could, you swear she'd tuck them in like fish and chips. They wouldn't be able to move. I mean, thank you so much, Chelsea. You're a brilliant babysitter. But why do our kids smell of vinegar? And the thing is as well, like when you have your first one, like you start to you're way more relaxed because like you realise what it is. Like a baby, for the first 6 months. Like, it does nothing. It does nothing. Like, every day's a disappointment. You get nothing back. Like, you might as well be looking after a port loin joint. That's the same interaction. You put it on its back, you keep it warm, you check on it every 2 hours, don't you? That's not a kid, that's gammon. That's what that is, right? And people come and visit the gammon. They bring presents for the gammon. Just what they wanting from it. And like, people stop you with your baby. Old people, like, they love it. They're like, ooh, can I have a look? Is she yours? No. I was just passing the supermarket, thought I'd have a crack at it. Do you want to get out the way, look? And she's like, oh, she looks like you. She does. She looks like all babies do at that age, love. You know, a dehydrated Phil Mitchell. That's what it is. And the other thing as well is, it sort of bends my head when you... I remember this, back with our first one. Like, when we came out to the car park, the midwife at the hospital came with me to make sure that I was putting her in the car seat. She made that... Who's not doing that? What sort of lunatic is going out there just opening the glove box? I reckon I'll get that in there, love. If I move the Haynes manual, I reckon that'll sit nice and snug in there. I'll avoid the speed bumps, so I'm not a complete idiot. You know? And I'm old enough to remember, like, when there was no seatbelts in the back of the car, right? And a day out with my dad would be terrifying. Genuinely, he'd be flying into blind bends, doing 100 miles an hour. Like, me and my brother are just bouncing round. What's that noise? It's just his head hitting the glass. Do you want to slow down, Dad? Be like, Dad, we're scared. Dad, what are you doing? Dad, you've spilt your pint. He was a lunatic. And people smoked in cars in the 80s, which I can't get my head around. You go to football training, car doors would open, and smoke would just come billowing out. And these kids, you didn't even know they were kids. They just emerged through the mist, like, and with their boot bags like that, just coughing like they'd just been tear gassed. Just like, honestly, like little riot shields like that. And you'd like people like, oh, that winger's slow. I'm not surprised. He's on 100 a day, mate. Do you know how many cigs he smoked on the way here? He's got the lungs of a 86-year-old coal miner. Back, chill out on him, will you, man? And the thing is, and this is the last point I'll make on it, I really do feel sorry for Sophia, because I think that the thing is, she doesn't expect anything. No. Because the poor kid's got nothing. I mean, it's awful, really. She gets hand-me-downs, do you know what I mean? And she's in the worst room of the house. I mean, if you think this shed is bad, you should check out her bedroom now. Oh, my God, it's the box room. It is bleak in there, isn't it? She's living like an urban fox, that kid. She's just sort of scratching like that. There's no room. Like, the feet are pressed up on the radiator like that. She's not 5 years old. I've noticed she's got the posture of a cashew nut now. She's like, her spine started to bend, and she's sort of like bending over like this. She comes down the stairs. Bloody hell, Dad! Will you sort out that back bedroom? Because I'm bringing her up Cockney, people. I'm bringing her up Cockney for the first 3. I've got a tiny Ray Winston on my hands, right? But everything, like everything's like, there's condensation running down the windows. If she's ever thirsty in the night, she just tilts her head back and licks it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's always cold, isn't it, Jem? All year round, it's freezing. Yeah. Like, we don't read her a bedtime story. Like, it's because it's more like we bring a priest in and do a exorcism. I mean, that's the sort of. It's not really a relaxing environment. And the thing is as well, all the toys, like I said, they were broken. I saw her once, right? I don't know if you remember this, right? She was playing with these dolls and she'd lined them up, and not one of them had a head. It was like a recruitment video for ISIS. It was the bleakest thing I've ever seen. And here's the difference. With the first one, spent months doing up that bedroom, right? And it's massive, isn't it? It's big. It's bigger than ours, right? And she's got the best stuff, the best toys, the best plush, deep carpets. Do you know what I mean? A mobile above the cot, right? I even checked the temperature. That second one, Sophia, right? In that little box room, she's in with the printer. I'm ashamed of that. We don't even switch it off. She falls asleep with her head on a paper tray. You know, she can't have a lamp on because it's using the plug. Her first words weren't Mummy and Daddy. They were Hewlett and Packard. It's awful. And I know I'm not the only one doing this. My mate, when his kid was in a Moses basket, used to keep it in the utility, Gem, between the fridge and the freezer. The kid must have thought he'd been born in curries. And my mate said, it was all right, because whenever I checked on him, I used to get a cornetto. You can't. That's not parenting, mate. You lunatic. And it's got into Sophia's head. It's affected her, because we went we went to the Harry Potter studio tour and we're walking around, and obviously there's a cupboard under the stairs where Harry lived, right? And everyone's like, oh, look at that. Can you imagine living like that in that space? And and Sophia, I could feel her just tug my jeans. I just went, shut up. Shut up. It's bigger than my bedroom. I know. Even Harry's got a lamp. I know. Okay. I'm a bad father. She got 8 wands that day. I caught her in a bedroom trying to make it bigger. I said, that won't work, mate. Unless you know the spell for improve daddy's credit rating, that ain't going to do shit, my friend. But I think, you know what I've been thinking, Gemma, about this show? I think it's a lovely show. We've got 128 people watching us now on a Thursday night, coming from a shed. Absolute lunacy, right? And there's people joining all the time. I think now, darling, we need to inject a little bit of quality. Already your reaction's funny. Right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to do some performance poetry, ladies and gentlemen. I am, and I am. I'm going to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a while. Yes. And now I'm going to do it, right? Yeah. If I can only do this, which is, something I never... Right, here we go, right.
Do you need the beat?
No, I'll tell you what I do need to do, is I need to... Right, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on. Oh, right.
Oh, special effects.
Special effects now. Right, here we go. Like, I need to get into character.
Right.
Darling, I've been to poetry nights, and this is what you need to look like. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put my scarf on, darling. This is going to get very posh now. We're going to do some beat poetry. Track number 18, please, sweetie. Right. And I put these on. Look at this.
Is that right?
No, it's 18.
18. Right. Do I need the tempo up? How's that?
That's perfect. It's almost like that works.
Yeah.
And I look now like a German geography teacher. Alles klar, my group, yeah. Come on, children. Come on, COVID. Come on, fellow. This is Windsor Castle, yeah. Hello, everybody. My name's Klaus. I came all the way from Germany. I do look German now. Do you think I look a bit like a serial killer? This is incredible. Someone said the girls are inside ordering a shed on Amazon. Yeah. They probably have, mate. They've ordered everything else. We don't know what they buy. Right, Gemma, here we go. This poem is called...
Clap your hands, everyone.
No, it's not books. It's not booklings. This has got some quality to it. I spent 25 minutes doing this.
All right, okay.
This poem is called Lockdown, Sweet Lockdown. So, ladies and gentlemen, please. Inspired by So Am I an Axe Murderer. Bring you some quality here in the shed. Okay, here we go. Lockdown, sweet lockdown. Things may seem bad. You miss the life you had, but chill. Yes! Feeling it now. Lockdown. Lockdown. Slow down. Working from home, but you're just on your phone. It's great. Yes, getting into this. Argos, Amazon, they bring you the stuff that you buy. A slow cooker, a hot tub, some books and a butt plug. You get what you need to survive. We've got all those. Yes. An essential butt plug.
They're sold out.
Have they? Gemma said they've sold out. She's not getting a shed, she's dirty enough. I know what that shed will be. That Christian bloke from...
Carol!
Oh, come on, I'm losing it, it's good. Okay, it's not the war. We're drinking at 4. Baking some bread with no bombs overhead. We've all got free porn on demand. Lockdown, sweet lockdown. Zoom family quiz. No, I've missed that bit up. Lockdown, sweet lockdown. Zoom quiz online. Family time. The rat race seems like years away.
Woo!
Because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be over soon. And then you might regret those things you haven't done. Freedom. Sweet freedom. 2021. The lockdown has gone. Rejoice. Come on. Moaning on Twitter. Angry and bitter. All back at work. Going berserk. Never a chance to relax. At the office till late. Channeling hate. Your boss is a prick. You're phoning in sick. You could be at home in your pants. Stop the beat.
Oh! Oh!
Lockdown. Sweet lockdown. How good was that? Come on. Oh,
Oh God! You could cut the atmosphere in here with a knife. Oh.
We've lost 12 viewers. Oh, I feel like I could have gone to Cambridge now. Oh yes.
I feel abused.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
Thank you
That
so.
was awful.
Well, there you go. That's lockdown, sweet lockdown. And Gemma, it's time now for question of the week.
Oh,
you
wait.
can't relax. You're needed tonight. Come on. Oh, the train going by. That was Gemma's knees. Come on. It's what? Oh, this is rubbish. Look at you.
Which one? Which one?
It's, no, it's question of the week.
Question of the week. Okay.
Question of the week.
Oh.
It's not going to be worth doing, is it? Come on.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah! Right! Okay, my question to you was, what are your positives in lockdown, Gemma? We've had some absolute bangers. John Shaw, this is straight off the top. This is the level of audience we're getting here. John Shaw says, I've bought a plaque descaler. I'm basically a dentist. That sounds like he's gargling with the stuff in the kettle to me,
That's
John.
hilarious.
John, that sounds dangerous, mate. You can't do that shit at home, can you? You never do your own dental work, Gemma. I tell you, I've got a little story about
Oh, I like having a good pick.
What?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Oh, God. I tell you, last time I went to the dentist, this is true, I took Olivia, and you tell me if this is normal, people out there on Facebook. I went in and he looked at her teeth. Now, that's normal.
Yeah.
If he'd have said, get your trousers off, we'd have gone. NHS or no NHS. And he looked at Olivia's teeth and he said, did your wife have a particularly traumatic labour?
What?
And I said to him, because it took me back, I sort of said, well, I think it was normal, a bit stingy. There were a bit of pain, I think. She whinged a bit. And then I got outside, and it was only when I got back home and I thought, what a stupid question. How traumatic does a labour have to be if we're still seeing the effects on her teeth 7 years down the line? I'm going to go back in after this pandemic and go, listen, dickhead, she didn't chew her way out. It was a natural birth. She wasn't fired face first through a tennis racket, my friend. Who do you think I've got as a daughter? Ronaldo in a wig. What are you on about, pal? So that's my... And here we've got some more here. Like, because the other time I went to the dentist, they gave me a gum shield, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because I grind out my resentment at night. I'm lovely in the day, but at night when I'm not in my shed, I try and go. And it really does. There's nothing that picks up the romance more in bed at night, is there? When I say to Gemma, so we have a nice aggressive cuddle, and just give me a minute, I'll pop the gum shield in. It's like going to bed with Tyson Fury. That's not normal. And another person here, Gemma, this is a beautiful one here. Pete Beaumont, positive, I've become a keen gardener 13 years before I anticipated I ever would. Well done, Pete.
Well done.
Well, I actually, Pete, I've got some gardening experience myself, my friend. I used to work at home base. Yes, when I was 16, didn't enjoy the job, because what they used to do is send us on courses to learn the Latin names for plants, Pete. Now, I know them all, right, now, but it's pointless. I was 16, I don't even give a shit, I didn't care. People used to come up to me, say, excuse me, son, I'm after something for the south-facing garden. Any recommendations? I used to say, yeah, have you thought about a wispy pubis? Brilliant, just... A what? Pubis, that's perfect this time of year. Is it hardy? Yep, grows all year round. Yeah. You don't have to trim it because it gets a bit wild, that. I can't see it, son. Ask at the information desk. She'll load you one in. Excuse me, love. I'm after a wispy pubis. That lad says that you might have one. Security every time. I mean, it's childish, but... he was the one that came in the week after, love, trying to find a drooping labia. It's just so childish, isn't it? I feel obliged to point out that beat poetry is a specific thing, and it doesn't mean poetry to a beat. Okay, James Wilson, take your educated poetry things. It was poetry. Listen, mate, it's a Yamaha keyboard, basic. It was poetry to a beat. If it's just me shouting in the shed, it's weird. Anyway, we did it, didn't we? We got through it. Right, there's another one here, Gemma. Matthew Mansfield. He's been making stuff out of wood, planters. Rachel Mary, this is a banger, this one. Positive. Homeschooling now. Our standards are so rubbish. Our children are asking to go to school again. Well done, Rachel, you've nailed that. That's exactly the same strategy as me when I hang the washing out. Do it so badly, she'll never ask me again. Honestly, I let my daughter hang the washing out today. She can't reach the line, and they look better than what I did, so I don't know what's going on. We've got another one here, Sarah Woodall. This is a great one, this. I learned how to completely empty my bladder when having a wee, so I don't wet myself when I'm having a coughing fit. So many questions there, Sarah. So many questions. I mean, how strong is your pelvic floor that you are stopping mid-piss? How busy are you, darling, that you're going, I'm not going to finish that now, I've got stuff to do. I'll pick that up in 4 hours. I learned, is Carrie Harris, I learned if you put too much pressure on yourself as a mum in school holidays, your kids don't need endless days out and activities which drain me of finances and energy, right? Yes. They just need ignoring. Well done, Carrie. Well, I love that. She says TV subscriptions and snacks are all you ever need, and I think that's fantastic. It is, isn't it? Yeah. There's too much pressure on kids. Get them in front of the telly, love. Yeah. Honestly, when I used to look after Sophia and CBeebies would end at 6:30 and that purple screen came up, it was awful, isn't it? Please come back. Please. It's like a babysitter you haven't paid for. Just come back, please. All is forgiven. I want you back. And my favourite one here, Gemma, which is going to bring me on to our next point here. Yeah. Absolutely love, this is from Debs Dillon. I absolutely love how clean the air is. I can see for miles from the top of Bramcote Woods. Yes. I can see for miles and miles. I know what she means there, because there's an interesting point, and I'm going to talk about this before I call my mum and dad. This is an interesting point, right? The environment has genuinely recovered, hasn't it? Yeah. There's less pollution. The rivers of Venice are clearer. Greta Thunberg smiled the other week. That's incredible, isn't it? And this is the thing, because we've stopped. We have probably given the planet a break. Do you know what I mean? And before this pandemic, right, I'll be honest with you, I cared about the environment because I've got 2 young children. I'm worried about the world burning up, love. Yeah. I'm worried about the sea levels. I'm worried about the ozone layer. But I had a lot on. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And if you're telling me, is the world dying on a daily basis? Important, it is, but my tumble dryer's broken. And it was in the winter, and I had wet pants. So right then, global warming sounded pretty good, because at least I've had dry balls. Do you know what I mean? That was But the interesting thing is, the environment has recovered in many ways, and I admire Extinction Rebellion. I genuinely do admire them. I think that I'd love to have that level of commitment. I'm glad that they exist, because it takes the pressure off me, doesn't it? Yeah. You guys organise the leaving do, I'll put a $5 in the card. That's how I like it. I don't want to have any other involvement than that. Do you know what I mean? And I'd love to do what they do. I'd love to glue myself to my bank. Do you know what I mean? But they don't like me enough as it is. We're a toxic investment anyway, without me sticking my nutsack to Karen's window. Just give me a mortgage, Karen. Just a fixed rate, love. I'll pay it back. And the government, before all this shit kicked off, they wanted to reclassify Extinction Rebellion as a terrorist organisation. They said, genuinely, Priti Patel said, this is a quote, she said, the protesters are holding the public to ransom. They're making their lives a misery. Well, if that's the criteria, then Network Rail are ISIS, aren't they? My mum and dad, Roy and Mags, Gemma, they are pioneers for the environment. They don't even know it. They're saving the planet. They don't even know it, because they share the bathwater. I'm sorry, I've just been sick in my mouth again. Scott, did you rehearse this? Nick Stevens, they're on about my poem here. Listen, right, so someone says butt plug, Mags is going to go mag. She is because she's got 3. And we ordered her one. And now, listen, so they share the bathwater, my mum and dad, don't they? They're living like peasants. I remember once, my mum, I was round their house and she shouted, my dad was in the bath, she said, make sure you leave it in for me, right? Oh, last time we took that advice, they ended up with me and my brother. Do you know what I mean? That's they also, until very recently, Jem, they had the worst shower in the world, didn't they? Oh, God, it was awful. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't even it's like they thought, well, we're going to be dead soon, let's not bother with a plumber. You know, they're always unreliable. It was like standing under a colander of draining pasta, wasn't it, love? There was absolutely no pressure. But I think with the environment, we need to be shamed into action. That's the only way we're going to be doing anything. I don't know about you, Gemma, if I've got a dentist appointment on Friday, on Wednesday I'll start doing my teeth. like properly, really, like, because I just don't want to be. I'll be brushing them 4 times a day, flossing. I just don't want to be embarrassed. You know, like an Ofsted.
Yeah.
Like you get the email, right, Jen? They get the email. They say we're going to come and look at your environment, and we're not going to tell you when. It's going to be a couple of weeks. So be warned, be ready. And you'll be sat there one day in your front room eating Pringles, and you look out the window, and then you see them coming up the driveway, Jen.
Oh,
Greta Thunberg with a clipboard. And you'd be like, quick, turn the fire off, she's here, love. Put them solar panels on the roof. You send your wife upstairs to get rid of all your plastic straws down the toilet, like crack cocaine, like Goodfellas, do you know what I mean? Get rid of that, she'll go mental. Because the other thing is, like, I want to mention those straws. That can't be the answer, can it? Those cardboard straws, Jesus Christ. Out of all the materials to submerge in water, you can't be cardboard, man. It's like trying to smoke a roll-up in the shower. It's got all the structural integrity of a catheter tube. It can't be drinking through that, you know. And this is what annoys me, like, because this will be forgotten amidst this pandemic, right? That it's the big companies, that's their responsibility. Like I mentioned that tumble dryer, right? Ours broke, right? And I couldn't afford to repair it, right? Yeah. How is something cheaper to replace than repair? That's fundamentally wrong. You see, we're learning something. The poetry was shit, but this bit's good. And it is. And I rang them up and they said, oh, don't worry, Mr. Bennett. For $15.99 a month, we will repair that tumble dryer. And that'll cover you for all future problems. My life insurance is $8.99 a month. And I went into the house and I said to Gemma, I said, this tumble dryer, if we repair it, it's going to be twice the price of my life insurance. And she looked at me genuinely. She went, yeah. Thing is though, love, couldn't live without that tumble dryer. It's part of the family now. The kids need it. I'm half as valuable to my children as a tumble dryer. And I thought I'm going to repair it myself. My dad did it all the time, but I couldn't get in it. I couldn't get in the thing. Because there's a load of screws the manufacturer's Zanussi could have used. Ones that could be used, you know, utilised by a normal screwdriver. But no, it's not a flathead, it's not a crosshead. They have used one that can only be turned by the toenail of a kimono dragon, ladies and gentlemen. What's the triangle with the dot in it, love? What's this? Who built this? The Illuminati? What's going on? Oh, we have got... Gemma, we're cracking on so much, darling, here. Right, I've got one more bit to do here, because I want to talk about something else, right? I've got time. I've got a couple of minutes, Anna. Let's go on now to quarantine quarrels, right? Because I've got to get up there and do the quarantine quarrels. Come on. Oh, before you do, someone said to me the other day, when will you know we're back to normal? When will you know we're back to normal? And I think it's when we start being arseholes again. I think that you will notice that, Gemma. You'll see an argument on Twitter. You'll see someone in traffic giving someone that, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's so. We're back." Someone, and you'll see, and I'll be going through. You'll see people in city centres, men punching the living daylights out of other men, kebabs flying, and you'll be like, "We're back." God save our gracious Queen. Kick him in the face. Oh, I love this world. Thank you. So we're gonna crack straight on, mate. Quarantine quarrels. Quarantine quarrels. Because speaking of anger,
okay.
Quarantine quarrels.
What was this one again? Quarantine quarrels. Quarantine quarrels. Quarantine quarrels.
Whew. It's hardly worth you getting up, really. Here we go. Right, there's some absolute banging quarrels this week, love. My favourite one, Julie Foster has said she argued with her hubby when sorting out the shed. Listen, you'll like this. Okay. I put all the screws in plastic boxes on one shelf and labelled them.
Oh, good.
What does he want to do? Put all the boxes in one big box, so he has to empty the whole box to find a screw.
What?
After I'd spent 4 hours sorting the screws.
What the hell?
Every time he does DIY, he ends up in a mess. He is not having them all together. It goes on forever, this. He is not having... Got anger management issues, Julia. All together in one box so he can mess them up again. I won the battle. Isolation is sending me mad. Well, I just want to say something, Gemma. She has made a mistake there, hasn't she? Because what she's done, as Julie, there, is she's... Wise up, Julie. He knows that you organising the screws is going to be better. But what you forget is, while he's in that shed, putting those screws in and sorting them out, that's 4 hours. He doesn't have to do anything with the family. Yeah! And you forget that is a down payment on his freedom, mate. Yeah. That's why he's angry, mate. That's why it is true, isn't it, Gemma?
Yeah, busted, man.
And here we go. Lynette Rooney, she said, my husband will go to the supermarket, buy 4 items and lay them out on the kitchen unit, right, and smile and wait for me to say, well done, love, as if he's amazing. Well done, you hunter-gatherer. Thank you. You're a wonderful man. And that reminds me, right, of the time I was in the supermarket, love, and a man and his wife were shopping. And he said... He said, she was in control, and he says, is there anything I can do, love? She went, go and get the bleach. Go on. Go and get the bleach. Yourself useful. Go and get the bleach. And she sent him off, and he ran off down the aisle like this, like a little dog. And he came back, and he brought the bleach back, and he sort of presented it to her. I think he went down on one knee. He might as well have had it on a cushion going, there you go, darling. There you go. Is that the bleach you require? And she just went, that's value bleach. I want domestos. Go again. Brilliant. Here's the other one. Pete Beaumont says, he's asked his wife what annoys him about him, Jem.
Yeah.
She's just said his face. So, and here you go, right. But, however, right, we've got some real love here tonight, Gemma. This is a really tender moment. I want you to listen to this. Brian Malcolm, who I know very well, a lovely man, he's found true love during the pandemic.
Aww.
He's met someone, they've fallen head over heels. This is not a joke, he's had online dates, they've been eating together if they're in a restaurant.
Aww.
Do you know what I mean? Proper soppy. And he said he wouldn't have made it this far if this hadn't happened. Isn't that wonderful?
Really
Let's have a round of applause for that. It shows
really
true
nice.
love.
That's
True love,
really
isn't it?
nice.
It's true love. I mean, do you remember our first date, love, when we went to that place in Loughborough
Yeah.
and there was that man who had the voice box removed?
Oh, God.
Do you remember him?
Yes.
And so we were sat there, honestly, and this is our first date. We're at this place, and all you could hear was this bloke just going, this is a really nice restaurant. Everyone's really lovely and having a wonderful time. It was surreal. It was like the Terminator. As the soup went down. I've never forgotten that.
I've never forgotten that.
It's bizarre, isn't it? Having dinner with a cyborg. But the other thing is, I want to talk about one final thing about parenting, and it's this, right? It's the discipline, and it's also, I think, the patience. Now, Gemma's way more. We're very different. Like Gemma believes, like I believe in sort of boundaries and discipline, and Gemma's not normal. And so here's the thing. Like, I know you. I don't know if you notice this, Gemma. Like I think we don't. Smacking is a contentious thing, isn't it? That parents row about discipline and smacking, but you can't smack your kids now. And in Scotland, they've enforced it as well. Like you can smack your kids in England, but not in Scotland. They've enforced it now. So if like a kid's badly behaved in Scotland, Gem, their parents go, right, that's it. We're going to Carlisle, you little shit. And they just get over the border, bang, and then back in the car, right? But it's one of those things. I once saw a bloke smack his kid in Asda.
Oh.
Now, we've all felt like smacking someone in Asda, but not your own children. And I'll be honest with you, I think I slightly enjoyed it. Because you don't often see it. It's nostalgic, isn't it? It's like vinyl. I thought it's coming. All the greatest hits are coming back, and like all the other parents in there, I knew what they were doing because they stopped. They stopped because you love to see a parent lose their shit, and they all stopped. And I like one man next to me. I had a phone, so you could pretend you were on the phone, right? But didn't have a phone. Just pretended to read some gravy granules. And the thing was, this dad, right? The kid was about 12, right? And the kid was wearing a puffer jacket. So the thing was, this dad was hitting him, and he's just cushioning the blow. It was amazing. So this kid was just going, come on, yeah, come on. I'm bulletproof, mate. Do it again. Go again. Go again. Basically, all that dad was doing was just encouraging a duvet along. That's just losing it. Mine. And it is hard to be patient. And this is the last thing I'll tell you before we ring Mags and Roy. So get them queued up, Gemma. What I would say is, like, it's a very strange thing, right? Because the patience side of it, I'd really try. And I think I'm quite patient with the kids, right? And there's times, though, that push me to the limit. And this is the one. When Olivia, when she was about 6, right, we went to the park and there was a crazy golf course there. Now, she's 6 years old. She's that difficult age where she's fiercely independent but utterly incompetent. And it's a really difficult situation. Now, Gemma, we didn't have Sophia at the time. Gemma said, I'll go and get some drinks. You have a game of golf with your daughter. Bonding time. All right, there. 3 hours, 52 minutes to play 16 holes, people. And I know you're thinking, but Scott, there are 18 holes on the golf course. It was too dark to play the last 2. Do you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. I'm trying to keep her up. She's like, Daddy, am I doing well? You're doing amazing, mate. You took 25 shots on this hole, and everyone here hates us. But you just crack on. If you want to know where your ball is, it's over there on that angry man's foot. Go on, go and fetch it. She just every single time, and she was like, I was like, we got to one hole with a windmill, and I was like, you know, I love that kid so much, but there's only so many times you can watch anyone smack a golf ball against the front of a wooden windmill before you want to physically hurt them. Do you know what I mean? And I had a club. And she's like smacking. I'm like, just go round it. No, Daddy, no. Just go round it. Please, darling, please. Everyone's staring at us. Please go. No, Daddy, I want to go through this windmill. If you carry on with this shit, mate, I'm going to make that happen for you. Face first. But we get to the end. We're both a bit broken, and I get to the end. And Gemma comes back, right? She looks fantastic. I don't know where she's been. She hasn't got any drinks, though. And she comes back and she says, everything all right? And I'm sort of like twitching like this. And she went, oh, look. The man on the hut who takes the money, he's finished for the day. There's nothing to stop you and Daddy going round again. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone's saying, Sophie's losing Scott, Virginia. Lovely. Oh, right, fantastic. Right.
Am I ringing?
We're going to ring my mum and dad. Oh, no. Before you do. Ring it again.
It's okay.
Yeah, ring it. Before we ring my mum and dad, I just want to say my brother sent me something last week, because we're going to ring Mags and Roy, and my brother said, do you remember when Dad, he wanted a drum kit for Christmas, right? And my dad bought him a whole... He took great pleasure in a miniature cymbal and a bass, a tiny thing, and he put it in the garage and covered it, and my brother unwrapped it all, and my dad stood there right to the point where tears were running down his cheeks before he revealed that he'd bought him a proper one. And what a wonderful man that is. So let's ring Mags and Roy. It's not connected.
Oh, just a minute. Let's try and connect you.
Oh, the technical issues here. Hang on, we're going to connect you, Mum and Dad. You all right? Oh, hang on. Put your on to your dad. You need to. Oh, hang on. We'll ring it. Ring him back. Are you all right? Oh, hang on. Are you through? Oh, Gemma. I thought you tested all this. They've hung up.
Oh, ring
Now, hang on, they're still here. I'm going to fill for a minute. What's happening?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, Gemma.
I'll ring them again.
No, make sure that's working, right? Someone said more performance poetry. We might need it, Lynn Pilbeam. Have you two been drinking? We're always drinking. Is it working now?
There you are.
Oh, there we are. We're back. Here we are. Hello again. Are you okay?
Sorry about that.
Hi, hang on, I'll put you on to your dad.
Put me. You don't want to speak to me. How are you doing? How's things?
Hey. Oh dear.
We're a bit late tonight. Sorry, I've waffled on.
So does that mean our time's cut then?
No, absolutely not. We want to hear you. We've got a song. Obviously, it's about positivity this week. So
Hit us.
I've got a little thing about positivity for you.
go on.
My bowels are getting better.
Oh,
brilliant.
I'm so pleased. I'll put it in my diary, that, Dad.
Well, I have been having trouble with them with the tablets I've been taking for my sciatica.
Oh, and sciatica and bad bowels.
Oh dear.
Well, things are clearing up now in all ways.
Oh.
Well, my mother's having to clear up, but I'm okay.
Oh, Dad. Come on. You need a wet room. It's a good job you've got a proper shower now, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a good shower now.
It's a good job. Right.
So, are you wanting us to sing then?
I'd love you to sing. Come on.
Right, well, we've got a little song, and it's first time we've played it.
Yes.
So bear with us.
Oh, let's...
I'm dedicating it to Specsave, because it's called I Can See Clearly Now.
Oh, and very positive as well.
Right,
Specsave.
so we'll have a crack at it then.
Yes, let's hear you, Dad. Lovely to hear from you. Let's have it.
Here we go then.
winning. Well done, Mum.
Great song choice.
But we had to, we didn't get it quite right.
Hey, brilliant. You were great.
It was fantastic. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, great choice.
Ladies and
He was
gentlemen,
on the banjolele.
he was on the what? The
banjolele.
Oh, not the ukulele.
It's a little bit painful, but we manage it.
You were great.
What you're playing it with? Why is it hurting? What are you using to play it with?
We're playing with the banjolele.
The banjolele. Oh,
Very
excellent.
good.
Well, very good, you guys. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us. Are you going to say good night and God bless to everyone?
Yeah, good night.
Good night from Yorkshire. Love you, Mum and Dad. We'll speak to you the week. Good luck on the Zoom quiz. I want to see you there.
Yeah, see you at the quiz.
See you at the quiz on Sunday. I'll be there. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Ryan, Max, Bennett and Gemma on tech. We got there in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Stand Up From the Shed, show 8, Gemma. 8. The wall of positivity will stay up until next week. Do keep yourselves positive and do keep on laughing if you can. Join us next week. We're here every Thursday, 8:15. If you enjoyed the show, there's a donation link down there. Thank you so much. Please do share the stream, spread the word. I will see you again. Love you loads. Have a wonderful week. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye.
Hey. Woo! Way! Woo!
Wow. It's good to see I'd like to see glasses back. And keep the glasses on. My group.